Hello! This video serves as a short tour of one of your key assignments, the Literature Resource File, also referred to in our course materials as the LRF. So I just want to remind you that our Blackboard shell does have a key assignment area, and at the top I have a list of the deadlines, and the reason I'm doing this video first is because in exactly 2 months from today, the LRF is due. Alright, and then each key assignment has its own folder. So I'm going to click on the Literature Resource File folder. And so far, it's kind of bare bones, admittedly. This will be changing very soon. I'm working with one of the librarians, and we are developing a research guide with links to different databases and all sorts of fun stuff. And then once I'm done with this video, the video link will appear here as well. So this is a downloadable Word file. I'm going to bring it over here so we can see it on the screen. Okay, so the goal of this assignment is to basically build a virtual library or a catalog of books, other things other than books. We'll get into that in a second. But just a collection of materials, of texts for your future students in your early childhood classes, or for those of you who are in those environments right now, you can put these to use. I want, budget should be not on your mind for this assignment. Imagine you've been given a huge budget and you can get the best things and as many as you want. All right. Now, if you are really into this and want to build, you can. Just don't forget to submit it before the deadline. But I do have some minimum quantities for each category, so pay close attention to those. All right. Alrighty, here's a list of places where you can begin collecting book information. Remember, I'm not expecting you to buy these books. That would be wild. Not asking you to do that. You have many other options. You can browse the library. You can browse bookstores. You'll be able to use this EDU 280 research guide. That should be up and running very soon. And we have websites, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I really like WorldCat, which will be an option under the research guide. Yeah, so these are all ways that you can collect books. If you already have books in your personal library that you love and would like to include, obviously you can. This is the required structure of the literature resource file. It should just be one document, okay? One Microsoft Word document. You'll have a title page, a table of contents, and then you will have 8 sections. And at the end of each of these, you'll see the minimum quantity, okay? So we've got infant books, toddler books, early child, pre-K and kinder, books of poetry, those can be for any age, song and music books, any age. Now, when I say any age, I mean of within our EDU course description, so that'd be birth to 5 years. And then Fingerplays and Piggybacks. If you have taught in an early childhood environment before, you'll probably be familiar with these, but if not, YouTube is your friend, Pinterest is your friend, the internet is your friend. Your friends are your friends. I don't want to see that 2 students submit literature resource files that are the same, that contain all the same entries. But by all means, if you want to share Fingerplays and piggyback ideas, I don't mind seeing some duplicates pop up across your assignments. So, if you're ever worried about that, just let me know. All right, so all the boring APA stuff, 1-inch margins. I strongly prefer Times New Roman, 12-point font, and than just a simple page number formatting with your last name and then the page number. If anyone has any questions about how to do that stuff, let me know. I can walk you through it, especially if we do a video conference. Okay. Table of contents. Microsoft Word does have a table of contents tool. It can be a little quirky, I'll say. I think the simplest thing is to just put the what do you want to call it? The categories, list them out, and then when you get all the way done, then you can just manually type in your page numbers. I'm going to show you a sample or two in this video, and hopefully that will help you wrap your mind around what we're doing here. For any entry, remember you're going to have at least 65. I want these things: the title, the author, if it applies, the illustrator, the year published. I know that sometimes, especially with the piggybacks and the fingerplays, that's going to be tough, but just do your best to figure that out. If the text has an ISBN, please include it. Again, this is like your future shopping list, so you'll want to have that. And then this part's really important: category labels. I'm not giving you a preset list of category labels. I want you to think through this on your own. I'm happy to help you if you're stumped on categories or the right word for something. I can talk to you about that. The other thing that I think is important to know is every entry should have several category labels. You don't just pick one. It's like a checklist of all the things that text is. So some of your entries might have, more than 5. Okay. I did give a list of examples of diversity labels, and so feel free to use the ones I have listed here, but this is not an exhaustive list. I expect to see more than these labels on your projects. Okay. Recommended age. One thing that's a little frustrating with some of the databases that you'll be shown later in a couple weeks from now is some of the age ranges are either just way too big to be helpful at all, or they're just straight up wrong. And so you are the boss of your own project here, and I want you to use what you're learning this semester, what you already know about children, the developmentally appropriate learning objectives in your textbooks, and figure out what age truly is this text best for. I'm especially concerned with the first few categories when it comes to the age range. Right here. Okay, because that'll help you stay organized. And then in a section like this, you can really try to aim for a variety for age groups and make your own informed decisions about which age is best. All right. Number of pages, and then a brief summary. Summaries must be written in your own words. They cannot just be copy-pasted from another source. All right? It's good practice in paraphrasing. And then for just a typical storybook, this is a nice template for how to build a short summary. Where is this story set, both in time and place? Who are the main characters? What is the main issue, obstacle, situation? And then my advice is to avoid plagiarism by just taking your own notes on the book and composing your summary from your notes. In place of a summary for the fingerplays and piggyback songs, you're going to include the full text of it, including any sort of hand finger motions in the place of the summary. And then be sure to include a citation note, if at all possible, about where this comes from. Okay? I'm just going to summarize these. I'm not going to read these aloud to you. Please avoid Disney. If you want to know why, email me. We are trying to avoid anything that's commercially branded so that your selections will work in any sort of school setting. Okay. Limit your quote-unquote old children's literature. The purpose of this project is for you to discover what's out there, what has been put into publication since you stopped collecting children's books, right? It's just so exciting what's going on in children's literature right now. And I don't want anyone to miss out on that. I know you might have some books that are so near and dear to your heart, you'd feel disloyal if you didn't include them. I know I'd have a few. By all means, include them, but just stop yourself after a few. All right. These lists, these resource files tend to lean heavily towards fiction. I would love to see some high quality nonfiction, even in the toddler and infant sections. A lot of that stuff gets overlooked. So just keep that in mind. Other things I expect to see, I'm not adding a number to them. And I know that might be frustrating for some of you if you're kind of type A personality. If you want a quantity, email me. I'll see what I can do. But generally, when I scroll through your collection, I want to see award-winning books. And, of course, include that in your category tag, right? The category section, you just say what award they won. Also, bibliotherapy. I want to see a number of those in your collection. What is bibliotherapy? Is quite literal. Biblio book, therapy, therapy. So any book where the plot or circumstances or setting would be therapeutic in some way to a child. I think that probably deserves its own video, or I'll see if someone's already done the hard work for me and look it up on YouTube, just so you can get a sense of what that means. If we were in a seated situation, we'd have a whole conversation about it. But for now, just make a note. I want to see that category label with a lot of your selections, and we'll talk about what that means later. Interactive dialogic books, the kinds of books where you actually interact in some way with the book. With the infant books, they have the lift the flap and pop-ups and things like that. There are some amazing books out there that have built-in interaction where the reader poses questions to the audience and, that kind of thing. So we'll talk more about that later as well. And then this part is really important. It's important enough that we have a whole week dedicated to diversity, inclusion, and intersectionality. Use those category labels to show me that these books, your book collection, is diverse and inclusive. And not just content, not just are there characters of different races in this book? Who wrote the book? What's their race? What's their identity? And that gets into this Own Voices movement that we'll definitely talk about when we have our session with the librarian. Ask yourself if children of different races, genders, ethnicities, socioeconomic backgrounds, families, and abilities will see themselves in the texts you've selected. Also, avoid texts that unnecessarily reinforce quote-unquote gender norms. In fact, how fun would it be to find some books that defy those gender norms? And just a standing offer, anytime you want to bounce an idea off of me about whether or not to include a book or which category labels are appropriate, just shoot me a quick email. That's what I'm here for. I did want to mention this to those who are computer gurus. You can actually, for the book part at least, use something like Excel to collect your information, and then you can use a word merge function to make the Word document. If I'm saying words that are Greek to you right now, then probably just don't do that. Go ahead and just type out your entries. But for those of you who are kind of nodding and going, oh, that's a good idea, hopefully that helps you. And I'm going to share a couple samples. I am not posting these as downloadable files, and I hope you understand why, but I am going to just share them on my screen within this video and sort of talk about them. And it is important to note that some of the assignment requirements have slightly changed since a year ago, and so if anything looks different to you, that's why. Yeah, and you know what? The Big Ten, it never ends, right? So the file that you create this semester is just the beginning of a lifelong process of seeking out new and high-quality children's literature. All right, I'm going to bring over a sample. Here we go. All right, so this is someone's assignment from last year. I've taken their name out, but you can see where the page number goes, a title page. I'll point out right away, this is not in Times New Roman, which I do not love. But that's okay. I might have taken off like 1 point for formatting, but here's the table of contents. You can see each section is clearly labeled, ... and then they type the first number that section starts on. And here we go. So how you choose to format your section titles, how you choose to format your individual entries, I'm pretty open to how you want to do it. So this is just the way that one student did it. And you can see that each entry is numbered. And then when the section is over, they start at the top of a new page for the new section, have their section title, and then restart their numbering for that section. Okay. I want to show you how this person handled Piggybacks and Fingerplays. Here's their Fingerplay section. So they have the title, they have the full text, and then they use parentheses to give the instructions for the Fingerplay. Again, YouTube is your friend, and so I'll be seeing a lot of these in this part of your resource file, and that's fine and dandy. I would like to have this additional information. See how the student added the date created, they've got their age, and then they've given credit to the creators, at least of this video. If you want to make up your own Fingerplay or Piggyback, that's super cool, and I would love for you to do that. And for extra credit, I would love for you to send me a video of you doing the Fingerplay or Piggyback of your original work. That would be fun. Okay. So as you can see, this is an ambitious document. It's many, many pages long. But it's not like you're writing a paper. It's not like you've written a 30-page paper here. It's just a big catalog. So definitely now is a good time to start. I'm just scrolling through for your benefit here so you can see what it looks like. All right. And then I'll go ahead and bring over a second sample. You can just see how another student approached it. There's the cover page. Good old table of contents. They put the whole range here. You really just need to put the first page number, but no big deal there. All right, here is their section heading. I would say maybe I prefer this formatting to the first one. It's just a little easier on my eyes. And I think what I did for last year's group is I posted a blank template. If I can find that, I'll post it to our key assignment folder. I think it's nice to have the author last name, comma, first name for cataloging purposes. And we'll scroll down and see how the student handled their piggybacks, fingerplays. Here we go. So yeah, I would prefer a little more information after the web address with these. Just do a little digging, try to figure out where this really came from, when it was created. If it's got any historical or cultural value, share that, please. This person put head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I know we all know that, but try to find a legitimate source online. Or maybe even find a website that discusses the history of this, timeless fingerplay. All right. These are fun. The piggybacks are usually songs sung to a popular tune, and the content is different. So this one would be like, days of the week, days of the week. We'd be having a lot of fun in a seated class. I'm sorry, we can't do that this semester. Okay. Well, I put my 20-minute mark, so I'm going to stop torturing you now. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I hope this video is helpful. Don't hesitate to email me with any questions that you have. Okay? Bye.